What's up, everybody? So in today's video, we are going to go over 5 reasons why I love owning the Nissan GT-R. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is my 2014 GT-R. It is my daily driver. It's my only car. I have the Yamaha R6 as well, but this is my car. It's been my dream daily for the last 10 years, and I simply love owning it. If you do want to see the drawbacks of owning the car, that video will be linked in the description below. But anyways, let's check out why I love owning the Nissan GT-R. So starting with the first thing on the list is the power. We cannot talk about a GT-R and not talk about the power. 545 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. So let's get onto the highway real quick. We'll go to second gear, going about 20 miles an hour. Let's see how quickly it can get up to speed. So yeah, that was a little quick. It got up to 70 pretty much in a second or two. But yeah, with the GT-R, what you're getting is a car that is very, very quick. It has a lot of power, a lot of torque from the twin turbo engine, especially anything down low. It just rips, and it's almost mind-blowingly quick of how fast it really does accelerate. A lot of people that I've had ride in the car with me, they don't believe that it's stock. This is the stock 2014 how it is. So in fourth gear now, we'll pass a car. And that was 60 to a little bit faster than that. So being on the highway, just downshift to fourth gear at 4,000 RPM. And it just moves. It's got a lot of power. It's crazy how quick the car is, especially in the slower speed, first and second gear, just with the turbo engine, how it works. It just pulls so hard and just has ridiculous amount of acceleration. Being that it's twin turbo though, it does lack a little bit of the top end. You can tell when it gets above like 6,000 RPM, it kind of falls flat just a little bit. If you compare it to anything naturally aspirated like a V8 or a V10 or something like that, you can tell how those cars keep pulling as you get higher in the revs. But as far as down low power, anything under 5,000 RPM, it just takes off so quickly, and that's probably one of the most fun things to play around with this car. First, second gear, just getting up and going. It just really puts you back in your seat, like right now. And that was just a 10 mile an hour difference, and it's fun. You can't accelerate and not just smile. It's that much fun. So number 2, we're going to tone it down now, down into comfort mode and kind of put it back into automatic. It is the practicality of the car. It's a 4-seater, it's got a big trunk. It's really nothing special in terms of the sizing. You're not sacrificing practicality just to get supercar performance. Right now I'm actually going grocery shopping. All the things I need to get are going to fit in the trunk with no issues, and you can comfortably fit people in the back seats. They're not the biggest, but you can actually fit there since there's a lot of legroom up front. You can have your passenger seat farther up than they would normally sit. They can still have legroom, and the people in the back can actually be decently comfortable. So it's nice to have that offered with a car like this. And as far as comfort goes for just driving, like your daily driving aspects, when the suspension is in comfort mode, it's really comfortable. It absorbs the little bumps very nicely. You don't feel all the bumps in the road, and it just kind of floats over things. It does have a very stiff chassis, so anything larger than like a little bump, you're going to feel because the whole car has no flex to it. So train tracks or anything major like that, you're going to have to go slow like you would in any kind of sports car. But it is nice that you can just comfortably drive the car, fit things in it, and just kind of not worry about it if you just want to cruise. Number 3 on the list kind of goes with your practicality, but that's the subtleness that is the car. It's a very underrated looking car. It doesn't look like it's expensive. This car, when it was brand new, was about $105,000. Obviously not the cheapest car out there. Even on the used market, you're still in the $60,000 to $70,000 mark. But just driving around town, most people don't really look at the car. I get a few people, taking pictures and looking at the car, but your average person, it's like a Mustang or a Camaro to them. It's just another 2-door sports car kind of vehicle. And it seems like only the car enthusiasts, they know what the car is. When a car person sees you, they'll wave, they'll beep, and say hi, try to take pictures and stuff like that. But it's nice how I can daily drive it. I can go to the grocery store, I can go get gas, and I don't have people just staring at the car, asking me about it, thinking I'm like a millionaire driving some ridiculous like Lamborghini or anything like that. So it's just kind of nice that it does fly under the radar a little bit. So for number 4 on the list is the fact that this is just a Nissan. Yes, the performance is supercar level, the drivetrain, the braking system is all extremely high-end supercar stuff, but everything else, like the electronics in it, is just a normal Nissan. The window switches, a lot of the controls in here are from every other Nissan vehicle. A lot of it is very familiar from my previous cars, which were 370Zs. The radio, the climate control section, the window switches, even the dome light, everything like that is what you see in all the other cars. So the basic little stuff about this vehicle is nothing special. So if I had to go into the dealer because my window wasn't working, it's not like going in with a Lamborghini, needing to order a specific, very high-end, expensive part from Italy, getting it shipped over here. It's probably something that they have. It's probably a parts bin part. There's a lot of this stuff in this vehicle that is just Nissan parts bin. And that's all because this is a cost-cutting budget supercar. They had to cut a lot of corners to make this an affordable vehicle. Because when this car came out, it was like 65 grand, brand new. Every year it slowly crept up. This one was about a $100,000 vehicle, but it was still something that had performance like $200,000 cars, and yet it was really priced with a Corvette, your typical, normal, somewhat high-end sports car. So with the car just being a Nissan, if there's something wrong with it, you just go to the Nissan dealership. Luckily for me, there are two within 30 miles of me. Both of them have Nissan GT-R tech, so it's nothing crazy about having to maintain the vehicle or if something goes wrong. And with that, normal maintenance is nothing special. Looking in the owner's manual, really 5 to 10,000 miles are the intervals for any type of maintenance, and it's just fluid flushes. It's nothing expensive. The next thing on the list for this car will be power steering and a transmission flush, about $100 each, so it's nothing to break the bank. But for the performances, offers, and everything like that, maintenance-wise and stuff like that, it's just a Nissan. So now last on the list is just the fact that this is a fun car that can do so much, and yet it's nothing crazy. It has supercar performance. It's so much fun to drive. It's so fun to downshift, to floor it. It's fun taking the turns. I like how this is a car that changes so much from the flip of a few switches. When I have it in comfort mode and automatic, it's kind of a normal car, a little clunky around town with the dual clutch transmission. But right now I have everything into race mode. And it gets up to speed quicker than you could ever imagine. And I haven't taken on too many crazy roads or the track yet, but when you are on the fun twisties, it handles so well, especially when the suspension is into race mode. It tightens up so much. When you take the turns, there's zero body roll whatsoever. The transmission is lightning quick. In the R mode, traction off, if it's dry out, you can play with the car without it trying to kill you, so you can just do so much with it. And then when you tone it down into comfort mode, into automatic, and just kind of cruise, it all of a sudden turns into just a normal car. Now, before I bought this car, you see people saying that, oh, the GT-R is a boring sports car, it's just boring because it's an automatic. Until you drive one every single day and really mess with the different capabilities and the different settings, you understand how much this car changes between what mode you have it in. And that's probably the biggest thing why I love the car, because for me, it's my daily driver. Like I said, this is a car I plan to have for quite a while. I want my dream supercar to go next to this. But as a daily, like I said, I can go to work, have it in comfort mode and automatic, and just kind of cruise, no big deal. But then if I want to shift and have it in all race mode, everything, the car changes 100% into a dramatic, crazy supercar, really, that still has room in the back for people and stuff. So it's just a very well-rounded vehicle. And honestly, that's probably why it's been a decade and they're still producing the R35 GT-R. When it came out, they priced it very, very well. Right in the market, that was an affordable car, but you got so much for your money. Looking at other cars like the new NSX, that was a flop just because it was way too expensive for what it had to offer. They could have done a better job with that car if they changed some things and made it a much more affordable price. Looking at the first-gen Audi R8, very successful vehicle. They're still making it just because it was an entry-level supercar for sports car money. So GT-R, I just like everything about it. I like the overall vehicle, what you get for what you're paying for. And overall, like I've said a million times, this is my dream daily. It is my dream daily, and I love dailying it just because of everything I've said in this video. And with that said, if you want to see the drawbacks, I do have that video in the description below. There are some things that are annoying, like the transmission, slow speeds. It's clunky and kind of annoying, but check that video out to see the real things that I hate about the car. But anyway, that wraps up 5 things I love about the GT-R. Honestly, I could go on and on about why I love daily driving this car and why I love playing with the car. It's just a blast to own and a blast to drive. Yeah, so for any of you looking to buy a GT-R, go check one out. There are tons of them for really good pricing. They're starting to get into the $40,000 range, which really is nothing too crazy. You can buy a fully loaded Toyota Camry or get a Nissan GT-R, and both kind of offer similar practicality things. So a GT-R is very attainable, it's very reliable, most people don't have any major issues with the car, and honestly, for what you're getting and for what you're paying for, it's a really, really hard car to beat. So that wraps up today's video. 5 reasons why I love the R35 Nissan GT-R. It's been my dream car for 10 years. I love owning it, and it is a blast. Subscribe to stay tuned for plenty more GT-R videos to come. And of course, check out the previous videos that I've done with the car so far. A lot of fun has already happened. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. We'll see you all next video.